Happy Sunday evening, everybody. Man, that just gets you hyped up. Hope everybody's having a great day so far, and welcome to the show. Got Billy Rios in the house. How's it going, Billy?
Doing good. Absolutely missed you guys, even though we talk all the time. But yeah, you guys all look great. Hope everyone's had a great week, and hope everybody in the chat's had a great week. And let's have some fun.
Absolutely. We got Jeff Delaney from the Secret Sanctuary joining us this evening. How are you doing?
Doing good. Just got back from Disneyland.
The flex.
So I'm glad I'm not a Bluey fan.
So yeah, apparently Bluey took over the Fantasyland Theater. I see.
It was crazy. That line was beyond Fantasyland.
I know it, like at our school, it's incredibly popular. Like just super popular. So I could see why Disney wanted to sink their claws into them.
Yeah, I mean, it was great for us. It kept people away from our rides and our restaurants and all that. It was crazy. I've never seen a line like that at Disneyland before. So
I showed my wife your picture that you posted earlier today about the $6.25 gas prices.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And we always hate you to some degree because you're always saying, "Oh, it's 73 and perfect in California." So she said, "You need to save that picture." So every time that Jeff says it's 73 and perfect, I'm supposed to send you that photo of $6.25 gas.
Yeah, well, it was 405 3 weeks ago. So.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
I commented that I like here it's like $3.50 or something like that. It was like $3.99 down in Texas where we were for a bit. But I'm like, thank God it's not $6.25. That's awful.
Yeah, it's bad.
Ugh, so bad. Well, anyway, I'm glad you got to spend some time at Disneyland. I'm very jealous.
It was fun.
Yeah. And then we also have this guy in his blue Asunder. I like it. Eric B. How's it going, sir?
Doing good. It was also warm out here. I did not go to Disney. I did some yard work, as I was just telling the guys. So not as fun, but glad to get it out of the way. Well, most of it out of the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
the yard work, I mean, taking down the Christmas lights that I couldn't get to a couple of months ago because of the blizzard.
No, I was going to say, yeah, it's you guys have been hit hard back east.
Yeah.
For sure.
I had a few remaining lights up in the bushes that I couldn't get to during the blizzard, and then it just got too cold. So today was nice out. I was like, all right, let me get it done today.
I want to give a shout out also to Bryan, who's currently being detained by TSA. So hopefully,
poor guy.
Gee, Merry Christmas! What a day to travel.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yikes!
Just looking at video of the Philadelphia airport, it's crazy. Like, worse than what he showed us.
That's nuts. So anyway, our thoughts are with him. And Jeff Morris messaged us earlier that he is under the weather. So we want to give him a speedy recovery. That crud just keeps continuing to go around. So
feel better, buddy.
Feel better. Everybody wash your hands. That's about all we can do. Try to keep our immune systems up. Drink a lot of water. I want to give us some shout outs real quick. We got Jolly Roger in the house. Says good evening to everyone. Got Jeff Houghton says hello. We got Theodore saying, good evening, gentlemen. Member for 44 months. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Theodore.
Bringing the thunder from down under.
Yes, he is.
Wow.
Hey, Brian's in the plane.
Hey, that's great. That's a great sign.
Nice.
Log on, bro.
I don't know how he got that contraband past TSA, but not bad. Not
all those
bad.
Statues you got through TSA.
That's right. We got Danny Mitchell saying hello. Fettuccine Alfredo, what's up, Familia? VIP Collections.
Fettuccine Alfredo might be the best name ever.
It is fantastic. It is. We are running out of fuel here in Australia. Gas stations are running out of fuel. That is not good.
That's
there's Bryan right there. I'm at least on the plane now. So I told him, I said, you got to at least broadcast from the plane. So we'll see how good his Wi-Fi is.
Exactly. That might be something to check out.
Yeah, that might be our first airline live chat. That'll be funny. We got Victoria in the house. Hello to you. Yeah, no kidding. Well, I guess you are in the air. So you're already in the air. That's fantastic.
Nice.
Happy Sunday, Virgin Prime. We got TSAV 515. Evening, gents. I finally got my shipping notification from Tweeterhead for Beastman. About time. Yeah, a lot of people,
nice.
Especially if you bought from Sideshow, it seems like they are shipping out stuff left and right, which is great.
I saw some Superman busts just magically showing up to people's doors without notice.
Yeah. Really? I mean, I thought they got noticed, but
Showed up to their doors.
They look good though.
Yeah.
They do. We'll look at those on Wednesday for Rogues. But I'm so happy that we are finally getting some stuff. I think that Tweeterhead, like if you order directly from Tweeterhead, some of that stuff is still maybe a little while out, but obviously stuff's on the water. I'm still not sure how like Sideshow's able to get it out quicker, because you would think it'd all be on the same boats in. Don't you guys think? You would think that?
Maybe they paid to get it out quicker.
I worried that it was an exaggeration that Sideshow is helping Tweeterhead get the stuff over here. I wonder if they're just talking about the ones that Sideshow sold.
Well, it would be in their best interest, I would think.
So what was? I mean,
Well,
Doomsday was direct. Batman was direct, right?
I
And
thought I
there's been no
read.
signs- there's been no signs of those things.
No.
Didn't the newsletter say they were helping with the direct sales as well, not just whoever ordered through Sideshow?
It did.
Okay.
So I hope so. I mean, that post by Eric, that is the first time I've seen anybody say they received a shipping notification from Tweeterhead for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ones I saw, it was just the Superman replacement bus were showing up to people's doors without notice. So I don't know about the other stuff.
They didn't get notification for those. This is the
No.
first time I've seen anybody get a notification that something.
Does anybody in the chat have Doomsday on pre-order? And have you gotten any word on that?
So I haven't heard anything about Doomsday.
Because that's the ones that were a little, in the gray. It was the Doomsday, the Batman, stuff that was direct.
And Doomsday was one where Chad showed pictures of it completed at the factory.
Oh yeah, I think he somebody posted it because they were like, you put in the newsletter that it was already on the boat on the way, and now the latest newsletter is like it's like whatever, not on the boat. So
yeah,
doesn't look good.
No.
I know there's like just some positive things. Chad's partner has kind of appeared and has tried to smooth some things over, getting some emails through, getting some emails responded to. So I think that's kind of a positive sign that maybe there's some help there.
He said he's taking money out of his retirement fund to move things along.
So, I mean, that's great. I mean, it's great that, maybe some collectors are finally going to get some things. And maybe, I know, obviously, no matter what they do, some collectors will not be happy no matter what they do.
Mm-hmm.
But I just, at least some things are being shipped. I made a very random purchase.
All your purchases are random.
Yep. This was my random purchase. I bought this I bought this from Sideshow. And so this will be here sometime this week. So if you want to see the live unboxing, that'll be sometime later this week.
So what's the plan though? Like, are you going to, is this the one you're going to have? Are you going to sell the gray Sideshow one? And then, so you're not getting the Phantasm Diehl, right?
No, I am.
You are.
So my new plan is I saw a photo of her and I was kind of hesitant to get this one. But there was somebody, let me see if I can just pull it up. I have it in the Rogues folder, but there was a photo that somebody posted.
I saw one in the group. She looked really great.
It's this one right here.
Portrait looks great. Everything looks great.
Yeah.
My only small nitpick is her zipper looks more gray than it does metallic. So I don't know if that happened with like the final finish. Sometimes when you clear coat something in metallic, it loses that metallic look. So I don't know if that's what happened, but
It could. And again, we'll look at the photos later on Wednesday. But this one, I thought I felt like she sized pretty well. I was really worried about this one because with a Tweeterhead Two-Face, he was a little underscaled, a little bit undersized.
Yeah.
And at the time, Chad had said, that's our bad. We will upscale him to Sideshow. Future releases will upscale to Sideshow's scale of quarter scale, so they would all match. And I feel like she matches pretty well. And if you guys remember, I had the 6th scale, or is it 5th scale? 6th scale?
probably 6th. Yeah.
It was one.
Yeah. I'd had the 6th scale prototype, and I thought she was fantastic. But I really wanted to wait and kind of see how she scaled with the other premium formats. So I saw that photo, and I was like, okay, is she still in stock at Sideshow? And she was. And I had to, of course, defer to my friend Jeff Delaney, it was the teacher discount, which was fantastic. So I got $100 off right there with just the teacher discount.
Wow.
And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get her. She has that third portrait, which was nice. And I kept thinking, one of my least favorites is that Catwoman there. I still think she's great, but she's still just one of my least favorite premium formats. That's why she's way back there in the corner. I like this one better by Tweeterhead, and that one right there is kind of more of that animated series gray, which that made me think, okay, this was meant to be. I'm going to get the Tweeterhead one. She'll probably go on the top shelf somewhere over here because I think she'll look better on the top shelf. And then that way then I could get the Phantasm duo, and have Catwoman, Batman, and Phantasm together, and then I will sell that Sideshow one.
Yeah, that photo may have just sold me as well. Not that I'm purchasing it, but I thought she was okay from the normal photos, but seeing her next to the other Sideshow pieces, she looks really fantastic.
That's
really
what, again, that's just really what sold it to me. I was like, oh, she looked great in all the photos and stuff. I'm like, but then that one photo, I'm like, okay, I think it's going to work. I like it. And again, just having her in hand with the smaller one. And again, it was just a prototype, but the paint was phenomenal on it. I really liked the way she looked. I think I like the goggles up look, which isn't that the one that they weren't going to originally put in?
Yeah.
I think that it was only going to be in the 6 scale, but then Chad said, we're going to go ahead and include it. So anyway, I'm excited about that. And then also my second purchase is this one right here. This was the Prime One Studio Dead End statue that I had originally passed on. I was talking to Comic Concepts, and they had one of these. And so I actually got a waitlist conversion, and somebody already bought it, like just instantly. And so I hit him up. I'm like, is it still available? He's like, no, somebody bought it, but I think I've got one that's got a little bit of breakage. And it was a return, but it just had a little bit of like rock work breakage, like just like the tips of the rocks. Mm-hmm. And so that doesn't bother me. That's stuff that I could just glue back. But the statue itself was fine. So I'm like, okay, let's give it a try. I don't know if I'll keep it because I don't even have a space for it, but I really like that it's based on Jim Lee's cover. I love that cover, and I don't know. I think I'm selling the big one, the Dark Knight Returns, and so this would still have a little bit of representation. I like this better than the third scale, at least me personally. I really like the Joker on it. So we'll see. We'll see if I can make it work. I don't know. Again, I have no idea where it's going to be, but both of those are arriving this week. So we'll be doing some live unboxings this week, which I'm looking for.
There's only one thing that I think that, I mean, first you said you didn't like the story, which you don't,
I don't.
And you said that you didn't.
I don't mind the story. I like the story. I don't like the artwork. I don't like Frank Miller's artwork.
Right. Well, this is based off of Jim Lee in that Frank Miller-esque style. But
right.
The one thing that sticks out that I feel like you didn't love that version. You don't love any Robins, but you definitely didn't love that version of Robin. Yeah.
So, like I said, it might stick out like a sore thumb. I don't know.
Are you going to put it in the middle with all the other dios?
I don't know.
No.
I know anything.
I literally don't know. There was an impulse buy for me, but you know how those usually go.
Yes.
But it's one of those things where I kept seeing it like pop up, and I kept thinking, I probably shouldn't have canceled it because I do really like it, and I really like the Joker especially.
I don't even recall seeing any reviews on it.
I have never seen a review.
I have never seen any of them.
I have only seen one person post photos in hand, and it was that person that gets them like months in advance of everybody else. So I don't know. It's just weird. I think they made 100 of them.
When you showed us like the picture of the box, whatever, it like had a few breaks on the whatever. I couldn't even see the breaks. I didn't even know where it was. But yeah, I couldn't help notice the paint. The paint looked really cool. It had like a nice, like, I don't know what's the right word, but like weathered, grungy type look to it and everything.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like splashy, muddy, kind of like the I don't know. I always think like the Tunnel of Love or something like where it's like he's like in the water of wherever, but like I don't know. I'm hoping it's cool, and I think the reason I'll tell you exactly why I canceled it the first time, because I thought it looked small. You remember they had it like next to some third scales?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it just looks too small. Well, since then, I've got all of these on the middle of the room. I didn't have any of those at the time. And so I've really kind of fallen in love with the dioramas, and I think that's why I kind of kicked myself. I'm like, I really like what Prime One's doing. Obviously, I want to get the Clayface diorama when it comes out. If Prime One ever releases more statues, who knows? Because that's been a giant mess this week.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure we'll talk about, on Rogues too. Who knows? But like, I feel. Huh?
Or tonight.
Like it's just one of those things. Like I don't know. Like it doesn't look good.
So I didn't read too much about it. But my understanding is that it's a single factory they had a problem with. Is that right?
That's what they say, and I don't know how many factories Prime One deals with.
Right, but they noted which items were affected, right?
Yeah, I think there were like 10 items or something.
None were DC, right?
No, it was like alien stuff, and then they sold
it was like
they sold the molds.
Yeah.
That was the big thing, is they were selling the molds,
which means somebody could recast them. So you got to watch out for fakes now.
And I think that's the main message I kind of got from Prime One's deal, was just like, beware, don't buy the recasts. That's kind of the impression I got.
Well, my thought is, if you're a factory and you've gotten to the point where you're actually auctioning off Prime One's molds, then you're blowing up that relationship.
Yeah.
You're not going to do that unless there's some legitimacy to their claims.
One would think.
Yeah.
Which again, to me, it makes Prime One look not good.
Yes.
Because like, why else would they do that? They wouldn't want to risk their rep with other companies that they work with.
Right.
So I don't know, but it's like it makes you wonder about other projects if that is true, that they're not paying, or maybe they just didn't pay that one factory or whatever. I don't know.
And then simultaneously, what's the deal with this VIP program thing?
Where
they're offering a piece for $8,000 to select.
Yeah, that I am looking into. I'm trying to dig a little bit more into that, and that's one of our topics for Wednesday. So I definitely want to hit that hard, because I know that has pissed a lot of people off.
The first thing that I thought about was the Frankenstein from Sideshow.
Yeah,
they didn't ask $8,000 for it, but the way they're rolling this thing out at Prime One feels like that same thing.
It's been a bad week for Prime One.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
For sure. But anyway, I don't know. Like, especially with the factory deal, like, it just makes me worried about, I don't know, just like with all the Blitzway stuff and like.
Yeah, we're all traumatized.
Yeah, I don't know. But speaking of not Blitzway, Jeff, I believe you're getting a Superman. Supermans.
If you had told me a week ago,
he's now with J&D.
I'd be ordering 2 J&D pieces.
When that text came in, I'm so weak.
Yeah,
I'm quite surprised. I mean, it didn't hurt that I had a pretty good credit with one of the retailers that I was able to use.
Nice.
But I already have the quarter scale raw Superman on pre-order from Prime One, but now we have concerns about that. But yeah, I ordered the dual pack, and I'm a little bit bummed that it's going to take so damn long to get here. That seems, if I were a company introducing a new line that people are going to be very excited about, I wouldn't say, hey, you're going to get these in 18 to 24 months.
Yeah.
That's a long damn time.
It is. But you are getting the Blitzway Superman if it comes out, which I'm assuming it will.
Yeah.
And I think you said in the chat that you're just going to enjoy it for a while.
Yeah.
Right? Enjoy it and then see what happens. I think the pieces from J&D look fantastic. I was wrong in my video initially that I thought it was silicone. I just assumed because it looked like it was. But obviously this is going to be a polystone material that they're going to be using to keep the cost lower, which I think is awesome. I did see a post today. I don't know if you guys saw it, from Hexapus. I don't know if they're working pretty closely. I feel like they're working really closely with J&D, which is some of the conversations I've had. But they keep posting what James Park, which is their owner, their creative director, whoever, did say that people are concerned about the quality. They're concerned about the price point. So I guess so far what they have done over the years is they have their own factory in Korea, which is why they've had the prices they've had. They don't outsource. Like, they have their own people that do the painting, that do all of the stuff, which then, obviously if they have a much smaller crew, and they even said that we're a small company, that's why the prices are the way they are. So they're like, okay, well, how is this going to be different? They did admit that they've never said that they only are strictly a Korean factory-based company. They did say that they sometimes will outsource. And in this case, with these comic book pieces, that they will outsource to China, which means it'll be more of like a standard factory product that you get in our collections. But it will keep the price low. It's what was $8.99 for Superman, for just like the singular Superman. He also promised that Batman and Wonder Woman would also be that price.
Correct.
After that, he can't guarantee it won't go up, just because the world, the world's crazy and continues to be crazier every day. But I thought it was cool that he at least said that was the case. And I also was surprised, though, he said that we were going to see those two revealed in 2027.
Yeah.
So I really thought we would see. It's like, come on, just keep hammering them out. Let's see what Batman looks like. Let's see what Wonder Woman looks like. So I was a bit surprised by the 2027 date, but
yeah, I think that would have been smart to show what Batman and Wonder Woman look like, even though they'll be years away. But it might get people in on Superman, saying, "Hey, I want to complete this Trinity." You know what I'm saying? So, like, I like the way this looks. So I think that would have been smart to do.
That's what Prime 1 did.
Yeah, exactly. So did Iron Studios, right?
Yeah, but then they shot themselves in the foot, and they haven't ever put the other two up for pre-order.
So Jeff, Legend in the chat says that he likes the Blitzway one better because he likes the sculpted cape. Was that optional? It came with fabric and sculpted, right?
You get both.
You get both, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not convinced, that I'm necessarily going to prefer the J&D. I'm going to put them side by side.
Yeah, absolutely.
My decision then. The big thing with the J&D for me is glass eyes. I think glass eyes really do make a huge difference. And so we'll see. There are times I look at the portraits side by side, and I kind of prefer the Prime 1. I'm looking at a prototype,
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens when they're both in hand, which is going to be,
Prime 1 also has a light up, right?
Yeah, the base lights up.
Yeah, I like Prime 1's base. I like what they did. Obviously, J&D's is going to be a little bit more, I don't know, would you call it museum-y? It's kind of weird because it's got the black base underneath, and then it's got the top on it.
I think I would have preferred if they just went with the marble all the way down,
What I think they should do, I messaged this in another stream the other night. I was just in the chat. But I think since it's a two-tiered base, they should make it so you can turn it on the top. The top tier should turn.
Well, that way it would be nice, because if that way the Superman logo would be up front, right? And then you could turn the base, so then that always makes sense, because like if you have to turn a base, then the front isn't the front anymore.
Right, and also it's a storytelling base on the rock part, whatever it is, granite, whatever. So you'd be able to see each panel of the storytelling.
Stanley says, "Good to see Jeff warming to J&D. He has been J&D-ized."
Well, no, I think J&D has been Jeff-ized.
Oh,
Price less than $1,000. It's not silicone. I don't have to worry about silicone. So J&D has been Jeff-ized, and congratulations.
Well, and like I'm doing something similar with I bought Punchline. And everybody's like, "Well, Chris, you already have Punchline." And a lot of people think that my Punchline is better than the Sideshow one. But I'm like, I want to get both. I want to see them side by side. I want to live with this one we won't have Punchline for another year.
Yeah. Sure.
So enjoy this Punchline for a while, see what side by side which one I want to keep, and then move on. But I'm glad that you're going to still get the Blitzway. Oh
yeah. Yeah. The only thing I specifically do not like about the Blitzway is the arm seams. I don't understand why they did that. It's not just that there's arm seams, but they emphasized them. So it's a weird look for Superman that I haven't seen before.
There's not like a swap out or anything. You would think that, well, maybe that was because that he, he's like the Batman, or like he'll have his arms crossed or something. Like, nope.
Although I guess you did jump on Punchline very quickly, and there was no edition size. So why the rush into ordering her instead of like maybe thinking about it?
Because it's me.
That's what I do.
Yeah. Duh.
Sorry,
Have I made any sense at all in 10 years on this channel? Have I made any sense whatsoever? Have I put any thought to anything? Nope.
Oh man. Oh man.
I actually really like that Punchline. I don't like the other portraits. I like the snarky, what kind of rolling of her eyes. I really like that one a lot. I don't know. It's very simple. I was disappointed. Were you guys disappointed with the price?
Yes.
It was a little high, yeah.
It was a little high. Well, with 3 portraits, I don't think they anticipated that most of us would only like 1 out of the 3, which, let's just say that the only portrait was the Chucky one. Would you have been in on it then? I
don't think so.
Okay.
It was that one portrait that sold it for me.
Yeah. And that one looks really good.
And I do wonder if that was their original intention, was to do that one portrait, and somebody looked at him like,
it's terrible.
It's hard though too, because I've seen some photos that are like the real close-up ones, and I think the closer up it looks better, but if you zoom away from her, she loses that detail, like the freckles or something in her cheeks.
Yeah.
But like, you still like the smiley one, right? That was still your favorite, Jeff?
The pretty one. Yeah, she's smiling.
Yeah, she's smiling. And so I think that's my least favorite.
Well, but it's because it's not a Punchline look.
Well, yeah.
It's really not. It's a Gwen Stacy look.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I see that. But the cool thing about all this is that in 4 months, we'll get to see her in person.
Maybe, yeah. San Diego.
Who's we?
This guy, probably that guy, if I know that guy.
Well, I am like, we have a vacation planned, and I am very tempted to leave the vacation early.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I really want to go and tour that booth.
I got to tell you.
Well, just so everybody knows, if you're watching, Sideshow this week announced that they are returning to San Diego freaking Comic-Con.
Yeah.
After being gone for what? 5?
Since COVID.
Since COVID.
Sure. Yeah. Well, you were there. Probably you were there.
We were in masks.
Oh, right.
The last time that we were there with the booth was that, we were in masks. That was my first time there. And then I came back the next year and they were gone.
So that had to be like June of 21.
So the other day I'm on Statue Forum, and there's a thread there for Sideshow codes. Anytime Sideshow puts out any kind of code, people post it there. And they also put event codes where you get that $5 for registering for an event.
Those are the good ones.
Someone just throws up there 2 event codes with no explanation. So I click on the first one, brings me to Sideshow's site, and it's a video clip of the aisles at San Diego Comic-Con with people walking back and forth. I'm like, what the hell is this? And I scroll down at the bottom, it says, "See you at Sideshow," which is what you say when you're at the con. Like, if you split up, you meet up, you say,
"See you at Sideshow."
And my mind's like, I literally had to stop and say, wait a minute, I'm awake right now, right? I literally thought for a second, this is a dream. This isn't really happening. And I scrolled down, and there was the announcement come back. And I was like, just like, ah!
It's kind of like they've been listening to us because the announcement, like you just said, was like, that's the place where everybody meets up, like, meet up at the booth.
Yep.
What do you think changed their mind? Because they've been very adamant about, it's like the overhead costs. It's very expensive to bring our people down and set all this stuff up. And it's easier to do the Sideshow Con at their own facility.
My first impression was, well, Pure Arts has been doing all the conventions. Well, not all, but they've been showing up at conventions.
Pretty much all of them.
Keeping an eye on Pure Arts. And being like, all right, if they can do it, we can do it.
I wonder if PCS's giant booth last year had any influence on them.
It was popular.
Could be, yeah. I mean, it's also San Diego. It is the biggest con. It's relatively close to where they are, so I would imagine, listen, shipping one statue 2 states away is a hassle. Never mind, multiple statues and then workers and all this other stuff. But it is relatively close for them. And I think Fettuccine Alfredo just put it, does just mean that they might come to New York. We were talking about it and we hope, but it's a totally different animal coming across the country than it is to just go to San Diego from where they are in Thousand Oaks, right?
Yeah.
Right.
They have a smaller presence in New York. I mean, in the past they had a smaller presence. I mean, it was a smaller booth.
It'll be interesting to see what they
pretty
bring.
big back in the day. I don't know if this was 16 or 17, but that New York Sideshow booth was massive. I've never been to San Diego, so you guys might be right.
I don't know if maybe I was reading too much into it, but I feel like the newsletter mentioned like they were bringing a lot of hot toys. So hopefully it's not just like millions of hot toys and a few.
No, yeah, they mentioned hot toys first, but then they said statues and they said Marvel, DC, Star Wars, Universal monsters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's possible that they could have maybe shrunk their booth a little bit from what they did in the past. I mean, like last year that I was there, with that booth, they had a big section of hot toys. Like there was I'd say half of it was hot.
That's the stuff that's easier to ship, easier to move around. You have to really wear, smaller boxes.
So do you guys think that there'll be no Sideshow Con at the facility now that they're doing this?
I would think not.
No reason to. Yeah.
They just tour the booth at the con. And I think it'll be the same size because my guess is they never gave up their booth.
You think they just rented it out? Because didn't they rent it out to J. Scott Campbell, if I remember right?
Yeah,
they did. Part of it.
Oh, because part of it was Tweeterhead too, because Tweeterhead had rented out part of that space also.
That 1 year. Yeah.
That 1 year.
Yeah. Which they won't ever do again.
No chance.
So I think it'll be just as big. I think I can't wait. And you know what I'm curious about? Sideshow always had a section for Prime 1.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think it's so great. And, we've talked about it on the channel for so many years about just eyes on product and that maybe it didn't translate to a sale, but with social media, it's like everybody's filming these things. Like, you see the booths, even from MegaCon, you see, clips all the time of little statues or even people that have never seen this stuff before. Like, oh, look how cool this thing is. And to me, that's worth it. Word of mouth, positive talking about something. Somebody might go home that night and be like, what was that name of that place again? Like, where can you get those?
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened to me. And I mean, it wasn't at their booth at New York, but it was at a Comic-Con and seeing, a statue there in person for the first time. I ended up buying it and the box said Sideshow and, you go to the website and then going to New York Comic-Con after that and seeing from like when we walked into the con, the big flags that said Sideshow, you could see it from all the way across the show floor. Like, oh my God, they have a booth and it's massive. And seeing all the stuff that they had. And there was always like giveaways. There was always like an entry thing. You swipe your badge or something like that. And they were giving something away. I think it was the life-size Infinity Gauntlet, the Hot Toys one back then.
Yeah.
And that was it. Like, and then after that, you go with your buddies, whatever. Hey, meet me at the Sideshow booth because you could always see it from like all the way across the convention floor. So it's a really fun memory.
There's definitely a huge difference between seeing pictures online and then seeing these things in person.
Absolutely.
Yep.
What would the likelihood of Eric and Billy wanting to come to San Diego Comic-Con? Is that too far?
We would want to do it for years.
I said last year I wanted to go, so we'll see.
Absolutely.
I heard it's hard to get tickets though, right? Like,
Chris,
you can't even get, you have to like swindle tickets from like a company, right? Or something.
I got dibs on the sanctuary floor.
That's right. There's a chance I might have a way to get some.
I'm in.
Jeff, are there like scalpers outside selling tickets or anything like that?
No, that would be problematic. That's a way to get your member ID purged from the system.
Wow.
You want to do that?
Well, and like companies aren't going to do that either because they're not going to. I mean, they want to make sure they're invited back.
So how would we even get in?
Well, what Chris just said.
I've got my ways, possibly.
You gonna open the back door for us?
Yeah.
Remember the movies we stood at the UA?
Like, I remember even
I'll get in.
that last time I was there, not the Sideshow year, but the year after. Ledger and I sat in there for 3 or 4 hours in a hallway waiting to be opened, and even Charles was trying to get a pass or something so I can get in, like, just like a help set up or something, just get in a little early, and he couldn't even swing it. Like, it's pretty tough.
Yeah. And Sideshow is also tough with even if you have an exhibitor badge, you can get in much earlier. You cannot, and they've got the whole booth is roped off. And if you start taking pictures, even from behind the ropes, they get security on you. So
yeah, it says because they did that year that I was there, that they said you can't film whatever. Because I remember we stood there and waited.
Yeah.
For a while. I talked to Igo for a while.
I just applied for press badges today for a Philly Fan Expo.
I did apply for San Diego press passes about 3 months ago.
Ooh, I should try for that. Yeah.
So I'm gonna try. I'm sure I probably won't get it. I did get approved for MegaCon and didn't end up going. I also got approved for this weekend. I'll be going to Planet Comic Con in Kansas City. So it's a much smaller show, and I haven't gone in 5 or 6 years. Actually, since before COVID, I think. So thought, why not? Let's go to a con. I missed being at MegaCon. That looked like a lot of fun, although very busy this year. And obviously the travel would not have been as much fun. So I'm kind of glad that didn't have to deal with that.
Sure. I'm pretty frustrated that C2E2 and WonderCon are the same weekend.
Well, and Planet Comic Con, they're all three the same weekend. So
they're all pulling from each other. So it's unfortunate.
I'm back to work now. So like I thought about doing Chicago. There's direct flights from my town to Chicago every day. And I've never done C2E2. Have you got nobody in our group has done it, I don't think. Finch is going to be there, so I'm like, oh, that would have been pretty cool to do that. But I did find out that all of my CGC stuff is done.
Oh, nice.
And that's all stuff from April of last year. And so he finished it up at the last convention. And so Jason has it, and he's going to hand it over to my CGC rep this weekend at C2E2.
I can still remember the look on his face when we had him on the show, and you were like, I have this with you. I have that, this, that. And he was like, oh my God. Like, he didn't realize it.
It's a lot of stuff.
Well, and that's the thing is, the crazy thing about all of that was, it was through CGC. They're very reputable. Obviously they do signings and stuff, but I don't think they do the art all that often, where they offer like those kind of art options. Yeah. And whenever I was in Baltimore, Jason had no idea what I was talking about.
Yeah.
And there were 10 of us that got the $800 and up options. There were 10 of us, and he didn't know about any of them.
Wow.
So that was concerning to me. And so that's whenever I went and got the CGC rep, and CGC rep had a conversation, and they're like, okay, well, we still have these. So I don't know if something just got lost in translation, because it's not usually the way things are done. When
are you getting the ones
that weekend, David did all of the comic book covers and all of the smaller sketches that weekend, or whatever that was. So he did all of those. And so I would imagine that was the majority of the drawings. But long story short, they got it taken care of, and people are going to get their stuff. I know he was still working on a few recently to finish them up.
Did you hear anything about the one he did on the show? If it's been a while.
So that was one of the 4.
Oh, that's right. That was one of the CGC things. All right.
That was one of the CGCs. It was supposed to be a torso of Joker pointing the Joker fish. And I got a message a couple of days later from Jason, and Jason said, are you okay with that? I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, David was really worried because it was supposed to be a torso, and the torsos are $1,200, and no, $1,500 versus the $800 for the head sketches.
As soon as he started drawing it, I was like, holy crap, he drew like a big, because I remember you said it was supposed to be a torso, and I saw him draw the giant, shape of the head, and I'd be like, I didn't want to be like, David, that's the wrong things. What he said.
What I told Jason was like, yes, it's a lot more expensive to do the torso, but just for the experience of having him draw it live on Rogues, I'm like, we're good. I'm really happy with it. So, and most of my stuff is head sketches anyway, so it works out pretty great. I'll have it on the sidewall with my Batman Joker stuff.
That was an 11 by 17, right?
No, that one was just 9x12.
The one he did on the show was 9x12.
9x12.
Huh.
Which is what the torso would have been anyway.
Right.
The only thing they consider the larger ones, which I say they're 11x17, but they say they're 11x14 because that's the actual drawable area.
Right.
And so I am getting that full size Bane, which I showed you guys kind of the pencil sketch of that.
And that was the one that looked a lot like the P1 piece, right?
Right. And that's what I'd asked for.
That looks great. Yeah.
And I asked Jason, can I see it finished? And he said, nope. This is a Christmas morning piece. So he wanted me to be surprised with how it looks. So obviously it looks pretty amazing. So going back, it's going to go to CGC. CGC is going to skip the encapsulation process, which is what I had asked them to do. Because I was going to crack it open anyway. So they're going to skip that process and then hopefully ship it to me. So hopefully I'll have it next 2 or 3 weeks. I'm hoping. I'm really excited. Talon was another one I didn't get to see finished. I did get to see Calendar Man finished, which I showed you guys. And he looked awesome.
That one's one of my favorites.
Definitely one of his best.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely spend some extra time on it.
Going back to statue stuff, I got an email. I think it was today or yesterday. It said the juice is loose, and it was the Beetlejuice. I think it was a premium format. And going back to the prices, it was like $800 and something. And then I don't know. Did you guys see the photo? Somebody got one in today, I think.
A Beetlejuice?
Beetlejuice? Yeah, I don't know if you saw the
photo.
No,
I mean this is the premium format right here.
Yeah, I think it might have just been some bad photos, but it didn't look so great.
Well, I think
it looks good there. But
if they got it in, it would be a 6 scale.
Oh, maybe it was something else then.
There's no way the premium format they got. That just went for PL.
Yeah, this one out for another year.
He was sitting, but he was around grass, and
yeah,
I can't see the base there. But
let me get a better photo.
Prices.
I mean, it could have been an Iron Studios one.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Actually,
the PF is $795.
Maybe it was a custom.
But I think the portrait looks good here.
Yeah, that looks good. I don't know what I saw today on Facebook. It was in your group.
I bet you saw an Iron Studios piece.
I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick.
I bet it's 10 scale. I bet that's probably why you thought it didn't look as.
But the juice is loose was an email from Sideshow today.
Yeah, like 8. I think it was eight something. Prices, man.
I'm trying to think of what else I was going to say with that. But yeah, it's already up for pre-order. And they had this Storm as well. Want to give a shout out to Constructive Outrage crew. Had Anthony Mestis. Happy birthday, Anthony, if you're watching.
Oh, here
it's his birthday, and he was on that show. What was that? Was it Thursday night?
Yep.
And showed the Storm base, which I think looks great. I think it's a fun piece. I don't know. Yeah. I've seen some weird, I don't know, is it weird hate about that piece? Like, I think she looks fantastic.
I think she looks great.
Yeah, I mean, you're always going to have the detractors, but it's a different version of her. You know, it's a little more edgy, and it's a lot of love went into that. If you look at some of the pictures that we had, the buckles, the little pins and stuff like that. So, and I think the light up, which we didn't get a chance to see, but I think the light up is gonna really set that piece apart. And I think it looks. They're getting to the point now with sculpts, even like with the Ghost Rider piece, where even when they're not lit, they still look relatively good.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember did they ever say who sculpted that one? Did they reveal it?
Raphael Phillips, the guy that did Jubilee and the Berserker Wolverine.
Okay. All right.
That bigger one.
Yeah. So it's his first female, at least for Sideshow. I think she looks great. I was puzzled by the comments. I'm like, well, to me, I mean, yeah, she's not the classic Storm, but I think I love the base. I love the lightning. Hopefully that won't be breakable. Hopefully you think it'll all be added on piece by piece?
It looks like it's a pain in the ass to put together. It reminds me of the new 52 Flash, to where like you kind of had to like heat everything up to try to bend it into place.
Yikes.
Yeah, but the way Anthony described it, he said the light up feature snap, crackles, and pops. It's not just consistent.
I thought you were joking when you said that.
I was not joking. It's like electricity.
I thought it was like
that will be fun.
It's a
Rice Krispie joke.
An effect.
And now we're going to get copyright from Kellogg's. Thanks a lot, Jeff.
That's literally the way Anthony phrased it.
Yeah,
I think that's cool. I think that'll be fun. I mean, the Batgirl kind of did that with the through Clayface, right? Had some kind of weird
the
effects
second
to it.
pulse it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, experimenting with some LEDs. Prime One is doing a showcase every 3 months. Do you think the whole thing has been happening with them will delay it until like May or summer?
Yeah.
Somebody asked me the other day about this, and I think that they typically have one in June. So I think that'd probably be the next one. If all things continue to go okay for Prime One. I have been told that they will show that at the next showcase, they will show Riddler, the 3rd scale Riddler, which everybody's been waiting on forever.
Let's go already.
Because he apparently is printed and photographed and whatnot. So I think let's go with him. I don't know if he'll be everybody's favorite Riddler. I still am very hopeful for that Tweeterhead one.
I think that Riddler will have multiple portraits to where if you're looking for a traditional 3rd scale Riddler, one of them will be your cup of tea. I think that one that we saw might look a little bit too lifelike, I guess. Yeah. And it'll make some of the other pieces that you might want to put it with a little outdated. But I think there will be a comic accurate portrait, at least one.
Well, like I view that Catwoman from Hush that I'm getting from Prime One. I love that piece, but she had an ultra realistic portrait.
Yeah.
But she's going to go kind of probably where Penguin is. I'm going to move Penguin somewhere else because these are all my Jim Lee pieces. And the idea of Riddler, as long as there is some sort of Jim Lee inspired bowler hat,
whited out eyes,
yes, that would work with that. Like I'll be real happy.
Yeah.
But if they don't, I hope it's. I don't really love the modern Riddler look, where he's kind of like just like a redheaded dude or whatever with the glasses. Like I just don't really. I don't know. It's not my favorite look.
That one portrait that we did see, he looked like Jim Carrey. It looked like a movie version. You know what I'm saying? Like he looked too ultra realistic. Was it? I think they call him like the Elite Masterline now or something like that, right?
I think that's what they're calling it.
He looked a little bit too good.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be smart if they do a lot of portraits, and as long as he still has some sort of green suit vest.
Yeah.
Like I don't want a onesie.
See that J&D is going to do a Jim Lee line?
No.
Where did that come from? Is this breaking news tonight, Jeff Delaney?
Well, no. James mentioned it in one of his lengthy posts recently, but yeah, they're going to do a Jim Lee line. They're going to do a Frank Miller line, and the 1/3 Supergirl that they've already announced, and whatever line that's going to be, is going to be based on Archer.
Did he address the difference in the scales? Like how come some stuff's 1/3 and some stuff's 1/3?
No, I suspect that we have a Kingdom Come license in quarter scale, and I'm not sure how they're doing the younger versions unless they're like variants of Kingdom. I don't know how they're doing it exactly because it seems like it's 2 different licenses, but I'm not sure. But I'm unclear whether the Miller and Lee lines are quarter or 1/3. But he did say the 1/3 line is their typical super realistic, and I don't know how you do that when it's based on a comic book artist.
Yeah.
How do you make an ultra realistic Archer piece?
I feel like we are to the point where the real war here is Prime One and J&D. Like I feel like they are the ones fighting for customers right now.
They're totally. I mean, they're matching their quarter scale Ross line. They're matching their 1/3 scale Archer line.
I mean, if they can get their stuff out quick enough, I'm still a fan of LBS right now. What they're about to do.
LBS is in their own category to me. Like they are doing so many amazing things, but it's just different. It's different things than what I feel like the way Prime One's kind of navigating, the way J&D is kind of navigating. And I feel like, I don't know. I feel like Jay is definitely, and I feel like that's what I've really been impressed with J&D also the last couple weeks. They have been super forthcoming in communicating about this line. Like, don't you feel like more so than just about any time they've ever done anything? I mean, they've even talked about their high price points and that we understand, and we understand that the market is dying right now, and this is what we're doing to I thought that was kind of a breath of fresh air, and I feel like that's what Jay does too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Back to the realism thing that Jeff just said. So, because I've been saying the same thing. I'm like, how do you make a comic book piece look realistic? I think it was in your group, Chris. Somebody. Is that Bryan? Somebody.
Bryan is trying from the plane.
Oh, look,
this might be our very first live. Oh, he's on the plane.
In the bathroom.
He is on the plane. The first
Somebody
live
take a
stream from an
screenshot
airplane.
and
This is
post it. Yeah,
fantastic.
definitely gonna take a screenshot of this. Oh man.
Can you hear us?
I had to hop on just for a second. I can hear you. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
We can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I can hear you. It's a little spotty. I just wanted to hop on and say hi and bye and do the first ever from plane from about 32,000 miles.
That's awesome.
I told you 32,000 feet.
Wave up.
Thanks for popping on. Saying hi.
All right.
Travel safe.
Yeah. Hey guys. All right. Good to see you all. Have a good rest of the show. Talk to you guys later.
All right, bye.
Take care, bro.
Safe travels, man.
Yeah, safe travels.
I thought
That's
I
so
was
crazy.
behind him. It's like,
I wanted to mess with them and yell out stupid things, but I'm like, no, they'll get them thrown.
It's like he literally took me seriously today when I gave him crap. Like, yeah, you got to broadcast from the plane.
I was tempted. Did you set the bomb in the bathroom?
Yeah, I was really trying to
Did you
taste like that.
That is crazy.
Like, excuse me, sir. Come here.
Yeah.
Going back to the realistic thing, though, somebody was in Chris's group on Facebook, took a Jim Lee comic book panel or whatever it was, Jim Lee artwork, and I guess they did AI to make him look realistic. And I was looking at it, I was like, enough, but it actually works. I could see this happening to where they could take something comic book and make it look realistic. So we'll see what happens.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, the Alex Ross, like he draws realistic anyway. So it was an easier transition.
Absolutely.
But like you look at like think about like the latest Hot Toys Frank Miller Batman. He looks super realistic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he is still comic book, but he looks, I think that's just the direction they're headed.
I think it could work.
I think
same
it
thing going
works.
back to Prime 1 with the Riddler and just the recent Catwoman. It's almost like they're too realistic to match with the rest of the collection. So
Yeah, that if you put that Catwoman with the Ivy or with the Batman, she's gonna make them look outdated. You know, I mean, it might work with like let's say the Penguin, who's a little bit more recent, I guess. But
I'm guessing that's what J&D is going to do, though. Like when they say,
I think J&D is their own thing. I don't think they're meant to pair with anything but other J&D pieces. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the thing is like,
especially with those black bases that they keep doing.
K Mag says my concern with J&D is they can do dynamic poses for their quarter scale, and they can, but I don't think that they're probably going to. I think that they have kind of set their look.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they want to be their own thing, even in quarter scale.
Yeah, which is like think about me buying the third scales, the movie pieces. I bought them because of that similar look.
Right.
Like I love my Blitzway Catwoman, but I wanted a similar look, knowing that they were going to do Keaton and Riddler or Penguin. So I like that they're kind of keeping the same thing. Although it looks like they're finally going to get their round bases, which I know they really want to do. And maybe all the comic stuff will be round.
Or the quarter scale stuff will be round.
What did I say? That's what I meant to say. Quarter scale stuff, the comic books,
comic books. All the comic stuff right now to start is in quarter scale, right?
No, well, the Supergirl is 1/3.
And she had a round base.
This
hasn't
been revealed.
Haven't been revealed, but that to me that still doesn't make any sense about the third scale. Like that's why I thought whenever everybody's talking about the third scale, I'm like, oh, that will be the Supergirl from the movie. That just makes sense. But I don't understand, like, why would they do a third scale art germ?
Yep.
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me unless it's a license thing. I don't know. But
couldn't agree more. And I'm also wondering if you're gonna do an ultra realistic Supergirl in 1/3 scale based on art germ, are you pricing it at $2,600? And is the market ready for that or interested in that price tag for that item?
I'm not ready.
I can't imagine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's a character that has been done before.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think Prime 1's art germ Supergirl price point? That's a great piece where she's in the clouds with the cat. Like, I think that's a beautiful piece.
Great.
And what was that one? Probably like at the time, 1,100?
If that.
If that. So
you could probably get it now for $9,000.
Wow.
I mean, if she looks, but again, like, how do you make Art Germ super realistic because he's so stylized?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure what James is thinking, but let him do his thing and see what happens, I guess.
I mean, the Poison Ivy that we have, Chris, the one that's on the roller skates on the ramp, that was based off an Art Germ.
Or the Harley, you mean?
Yeah. I mean, she looks pretty realistic in some of the portraits, and they made that work.
Yeah.
Somebody was selling her for like $900. That was so tempting.
Oh my god!
Wow.
We went 3 years for that.
$10.99. $10.99 on Supergirl from Prime.
But if you bought it today, I bet you could get it for $9.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. For
sure. It's going to be 1/3 J&D Supergirl versus 1/3 LBS Supergirl in a couple of months.
No, you're not going to see that J&D one for a long time.
Yeah, it'll be a while. And I can't remember I haven't seen anything Supergirl from Jay. He had said the other day in one of our chats that I think like there's like 5 or 6 that are going to be released this year for pre-order. I think the only Batman one was Clayface.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll be released at some point this year. I was hoping Ra's al Ghul would be too, because I'm more excited about Ra's al Ghul, quite frankly, than even Clayface. So
looking at the Clayface and Billy's collection, and it pairs up nicely with the 1/3. I can't imagine what this LBS 1/3 Clayface is going to look like.
It's going to be bigger than the Hulk.
Chris, that's one you should still look into because it looks good with 1/3. That
I like it. I really still do like it. And I think that seeing it in Billy's collection has made me like it more.
And it
looks custom better. Or the LBS piece?
Say that again?
The custom or the LBS piece?
I like your custom.
Yeah. I mean, it scales well with 1/3. I mean, it's bigger than you would think it was.
That's the thing with Clayface is like, I remember when Jay was like trying to size him and asking my opinion about that. And like, at times, like he could maybe even look too clunky. Like he's too
bulky,
too big and bulky. Whereas yours is a little bit more thinner. Like, he's still big, but he's, you know what I mean? Like he's just not quite as room.
No, it doesn't. I mean, he's only about, I would say, like 18 inches wide too. Everything. He's more up and down.
I have some concerns about how many folks are going to buy a 1/3 Clayface as big as the LBS Hulk.
Yeah,
that's what I'm worried about too.
It will be a small ES. I can almost guarantee it.
Yeah.
Like even in this chat group, people were doing polls about the Dark Knight Returns piece, and if they were going to buy it, and most people said no.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Like for that's been done before. Clayface really hasn't.
Right. Do you think that's why? Is because it's been done a few times? I think so. It's been done so many times in so many different companies, and I still think it looks good. But like that would be their third Batman, and there's been other variants of Batman with the black and whites and the different colors. So I don't really know if that means people really are interested, but I think they'd be more interested in characters that haven't been done.
Has there been that much of that character though in quarter scale?
Not well. Like there's like the bolt of lightning right here from Sideshow.
Right.
There was a whole bunch of like Iron Studio Z 6 scale.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had the Delato piece. Remember that?
Delato.
That was in 1/6. But that was a great piece.
If Jay did it in quarter, I'd seriously consider it, but not 1/3.
Would you do the Robin with it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I do think it looks great. I mean, the details on him look really good.
Mm-hmm.
Let's Limited Collectibles says I'm looking forward to Batman versus Clayface. That's the one I'm probably most looking forward to right now. From Prime 1. So I'm just excited to get a Clayface, and I was excited about the damn Tweeterhead one. I just don't know if we'll ever get it. You guys think we will?
It's gonna be a while.
I think if you're gonna see that, you're gonna see the Riddler. It's gonna be because Sideshow bought them out, and they're gonna go behind those. I mean, they've shown them at their little Sideshow con, right? So
yeah, I mean that's the thing is like those pieces, all the work's already been done. The sculpt's been done, the development's been done, the art direction's been done, and I know that there were probably 10 more that I've seen behind the scenes of renders of stuff that they've already worked on that were pretty much done. So I mean, it wouldn't be anything other than just the cost of producing them, because all the hard work's already done.
Mm-hmm.
just shame.
Yeah. So I'm like, I hope those don't go away. I don't know. I don't know.
That sucks.
Well, I like to keep this show to about an hour because I spend some time with the family. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we wrap it up? I feel like it's been a great show.
Yeah. Anybody else interested in the J&D Superman? Probably not, huh?
Tempting.
It is.
I like him, but I will buy their Batman.
That's the thing. I think if they would have shown the Batman, I might have been more tipped towards the Superman. So
I think that would have been the smartest thing they could have done. Is just out of the gate shown us all three and showed this this is what we can do. But I would think I would think that they're going to be just as good, if not better. I love the way Superman turned out. I'm so excited for you, Jeff. I think it's going to look really good.
Do you guys think that they continue with the Kingdom Come line, like just Flash or Martian Manhunter, that just keep going down that road?
I think it just depends on sales.
So, Jeff, are you worried how it's going to look with the rest of your pieces? Because that's like, I'm looking at my, the custom I have right here, and I'm fine with that. I don't know if I need hyper realism at the moment. I don't know. I guess I would need to see one in person, which goes back to seeing these things at conventions. But
yeah,
I'm not worried because I consider The Witcher a hyper realistic piece, and I absolutely love it. And doesn't bother me a bit compared to the other pieces.
Doesn't want to make you get rid of all the other statues because that one's so good looking now.
It does make me want to have more hyper realistic stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when that back in the day when that happened with Sideshow. When Sideshow started doing better paint jobs and better, when basically I think it was during the times when they went from traditional to 3D sculpting. Things just got so much better.
Yeah,
I remember Chris and I used to talk about that all the time. Should we switch to the newer stuff? And then when you get the newer stuff in, you're like, oh my god, the newer stuff is so much better than the older.
I think I noticed that a lot in the X-Men stuff. If you look at the old Cyclops that had the pleather jacket, and then what else they did back then? There was the brown suit Wolverine, all that kind of stuff, and then all of a sudden they went to Gambit, Rogue, that were in the Danger Room bases and stuff, and more the sculpts were better, but also the pose was more dynamic. Rogue was flying, still probably the best Rogue. There was a big jump in quality.
Yep.
But here's the thing. That's always going to be the case.
Yeah.
No one's ever going to want to go backwards.
No.
So yes, you might have pieces in your collection that are dated and you either keep them or sell them, move them on.
Yeah.
Which sucks at times because sometimes you don't really want to move on. But I think you're exactly right, Eric. I think that over time, they're all going to start to look older because all the stuff is going to be so much better.
Mm-hmm.
But just because it's more hyper realistic doesn't mean that the old pieces are bad. They are going to be maybe looked at differently. But again, look at the pieces. Think about the pieces you had 10 years ago.
Yeah, there's some I would look at.
You don't have anymore.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why you don't have them anymore.
Jeff, what's your oldest Sideshow piece?
I've got the Spider-Man on the girder.
Great one. Still.
Second Red Sonja.
Love that one.
Rebel Terminator. Those would probably be the Elektra. I don't know. Yeah.
That's 5 years old already.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got both the Elektra and Daredevil in their black costumes.
Yeah.
But for me, on both sides of this computer screen, I've got OG Joker right here from Sideshow, 2009. I've got the original Poison Ivy art germ. I don't care that these are in the collection, and right over there on this shelf on the corner, it might be like some hyper realistic movie. I don't care because these statues still hold up for me.
Right.
So it's going to be just like anything else. It's going to be subjective. But like I said, the companies aren't going to go backwards. They're not going. I mean, they're going to, if this is the way that companies are trying to compete with each other, and clearly they are with the hyper realistic, and see how far they can push it. And they are. Their artists are phenomenal right now. I think they're the best they've ever been.
Be nice to go backwards and go backwards with the prices as well.
Yeah. But again, that's why, to me, this is the best thing in the entire world that J&D can do. Because for years and years and years, the perception of J&D has been they are outpricing everybody else. They are only for the super rich. They can afford these things and blah, blah, blah. This was the smartest thing in the world because they have now flipped perception.
Yeah.
J&D now could be affordable for this person and this person and this person at that same level of quality. I think that they, in a matter of a week, they've changed the game for themselves.
Yeah, look what happened. They got Jeff.
They got Jeff. They hooked him.
Imagine that.
Hook, line, and sinker.
I will say one thing. There's been a lot of talk about how incredible the price is. I personally don't think the price is incredible. It doesn't have any of the frills of a huge base or a light up or that sort of thing. And when I look at Blitzway putting out Scarface for $4.99 with the sculpted hair version, I'm not sure $8.99 for a museum post Superman on a simple base is an extraordinary price. It's a good price and they're going to sell a lot, but I don't think it's a huge bargain.
You mentioned Scarface. I forgot to mention earlier. I think I'm going to jump on that custom Scarface with a ventriloquist.
Cool. Yeah.
I think it's a little cartoony still for me, but I'd like to have him painted and done. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. But anyway, guys, thank you for joining me tonight. This was a lot of fun. Great topic of conversation. I don't know if I feel like we got maybe less of the chat tonight, so I do apologize. So I'll try to work on that because we do want it to be your show as well. But there was a lot to talk about, obviously. And I want to thank Billy, Jeff, Eric, and Bryan from outer space. That was nuts. I can't believe he was able to connect to the show. That was pretty crazy. Especially with this show, it used to freeze constantly, so that's a good sign, I guess. But anyway, anything you guys want to plug before we wrap it up? Obviously, Rogues Gallery on Wednesday. Also, the 2 live unboxings. If you just joined me, I don't know if you guys saw at the beginning of the show, I'll be unboxing this quarter scale from Tweeterhead this week, and also this one from Prime One Studio this week at some point, probably Friday or Saturday. We'll see. Anybody else have anything else to promote, plug on your channels?
We got the Thanos LBS review coming up, right, Chris?
Yep, absolutely. I think it's going to go live tomorrow. I hadn't had a chance to put the details of in the description because I was out of town, but I think I'm going to get that done tonight. So that should go up. We also have a review on the channel of the Prime One Studio half scale Keaton Batman. Which finally shipped. It's finally came out. So we have a review on that. Nice. That'll be this week as well. How about you, Eric? Anything on your end?
Yeah, just check out my channel. There's always stuff going on.
What's new?
Yeah, constantly. Any live streams with you guys this week?
Thursday night, Constructive Outrage Crew. Catch me, boys, Thursday night. What
about you, Eric? Any live stream?
Nothing. We did something, I think, what was it? This
Saturday.
Right?
I was going to say, it's it was just recently, yeah.
Saturday, right? Yeah.
I lose track.
That was fun. And then, Jeff, anything on your end?
WonderCon's next weekend. I'm not sure if there'll be anything worth filming there, but if there is, I'll certainly do that. And I have that custom Batman coming in a couple of weeks that Eric did a good review on. So I may or may not do a review on that. But, yep.
There's also a great video. I haven't had a chance to watch all of it, but you did a comparison of the Blitzway and the J&D.
So I did. It's not really a comparison.
Well, I mean, yeah.
My basic point with that video, which is only 4 minutes long, was to kind of say to Prime One, "What are you going to do?"
Yeah. Right? What do you show us your cards?
Yeah, I mean, if J&D they're going to do the same Trinity that you're doing. You've only put one up for pre-order. What are you going to do? Are you just going to scrap the license, or are you going to put up Batman and Wonder Woman?
Or at least just say, like, if you're not going to make it, just say so people can move on.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, and again, maybe they don't know, and especially if there's more factory issues that we are not aware of, and that's what the reason is with Blitzway.
Right.
It's very possible. I hope not, but it's very possible. So anyway, I guess we'll see. But anyway, check out that video on Jeff's channel, and we'll see. Hopefully, you'll see you Wednesday night on Rogues. And again, thanks for watching, everybody. Oh yeah, one other thing, we have Dan filmed from MegaCon, so he's putting that together as we speak, and I think he'll have that to me tomorrow. So if you want to kind of experience what MegaCon was like this year, we'll have that video up on the channel as well. So a lot of good content coming your way across the board. And so happy collecting, everybody. Have a great week, and we'll see you on Wednesday for Rogues Gallery Live. Bye, everybody. Good night.
See y'all. Take care.
Good night.